Oh my god.
Did you like that female scream we just added in there?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Loved it.
Hello, everybody. I am Jaren. I'm joined with Josh and Chok, and this
Hey,
is
guys.
the Family of Fear podcast.
I like that.
Like that guy screaming.
Got
Yeah,
the-
we're getting
I like
a little
that.
creative here. We're all loosened up. We're ready to add some new stuff in.
Oh god, I am so depressed. Okay, let's start this.
This is going to be our last episode for the
No.
month of November until December.
Yeah.
Oh, is that because it's November 30th?
Yes,
Okay.
29
that's exactly
for me,
why.
actually.
I'm just ready to get in this Christmas spirit, and I'm hoping
To kill some Santa
that
Claus.
we can all bring a little bit of horror cheer to the Christmas season this year.
Alright, so we watched a couple movies this week, so I guess we'll dive right in. Which one do you guys want to do first?
Let's talk about this little movie we watched called Circle.
Circle.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Do you want to tell us what it's about? Because this movie is quite not as...
Yeah, I think,
not
how about
as
you
well known
go
as
ahead and
other.
explain it, Jaren?
Okay, so Circle, not to be confused with The Circle.
Yeah.
Circle is... It starts out with a room of about 50 or so people. I think there's more, but 50 people in a room, all standing on
strangers.
separate circles. They don't know where they're at. None of them know who each other are. They are slowly being picked off by a machine in the middle. So they try to figure out what's going on. They figure out that they have the ability to vote, the ability to choose who they want to die next.
Yeah.
And as they're doing this, you see a lot of like natural instincts come out from these people, and it's crazy because like it's definitely, I'm gonna have to say this, it's definitely an alien movie. You pretty much figure that one out pretty soon. Oh my gosh, it's highly entertaining.
Mm-hmm. The reason he said not to be confused with The Circle, if you're looking for it on Netflix, it's called Just Circle. If The Circle is a European gay rights movie, so
Hey,
I guess if you want to watch that.
Crime, Josh, love is not a crime.
That's
Right, yeah,
actually...
but I'm gonna have to agree. I thought this movie was really entertaining, and I was actively engaged in it the whole time.
I think it's a perfect movie for those people who have ADD. Because they can't concentrate, stuff for so long.
Yeah.
And this movie is really fast pacing. It's moved really fast. It captures your attention since the beginning till it's done.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
It's super interesting because you see a lot of like human nature come out in these people as this movie slowly progresses. At first, they're confused and scared, and then you have a few people going in to try to reason. They bring up politics, they bring up class, they bring up race, they bring up religion, and it's going through every single like order of what the human mind goes through and try to rationalize who should be killed next and who should live. They have to make decisions like whether they should kill the pregnant woman or the child. It gets really intense, and you honestly have no clue who's going to get taken out next. So the whole time you're excited, you're ready, you're scared because there's about 2 minutes in between each person's death, and it goes up by a couple seconds each time someone dies. And so you're like, when you hear like there's like a countdown that goes down before the next person is killed, and you hear that countdown, you're just like clenching up because you're just waiting on it. And some people survive survive longer than you'd expect them to. There was a few people who I'd call to be dead out in like a second, but they actually last a while. It's extremely interesting. Very cool concept. Very good execution. I'm not sure what the budget was on this.
I think it was not a lot, to be honest.
I don't think it was a lot.
It's only in one room, to be honest. I thought I was watching like a game show or something. Just looked like a huge...
It takes place in one solid room.
Yeah. With a cool looking circle light.
But it's cool. It's cinematically pleasing too. I thought the room was very well done. Like the colors and how like they did the voting thing. It's cool. It's a really good movie. It's a good watch. If you're bored and you have nothing to watch, go on Netflix, check out Circle. Not The Circle, Circle.
Yeah, and it's just amazing, the story just takes place in just one room, and it can hold your interest for an hour and a half. So I think they did really good on that.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Like when you saw the people there,
Yeah.
I found myself like rooting for some guys to stay alive and some guys to die. Like all the dickheads, I wanted to see them die next, but they always lasted for a while. And you kind of have a character you want to stay alive. Which character was that for you guys? Do you remember any?
Yeah, actually, I don't want to say my character because my character kind of spoils it. But
Don't say it.
I was there's a few people who I really wanted to win. But I don't know. All in all, like you like, it's not really just one person you want to win. Like it's really just like a multitude of people. Because I believed certain people, no matter what, like I thought they were going to be the very last ones, no matter what. And I just want to see some people survive longer than others. But no, it was cool. I mean, one of my favorite things is like some of the tricks each other played on other people, like trying to like convince them, like not to vote for them or to choose somebody else. Like, it's cool how like the human mind would react in that situation, and I think that the movie shows that really well. And
yeah, just one of those horror movies
cool.
that doesn't rely on the gore or the blood.
Yeah, so you didn't have like a specific character you were rooting for? Mine was the guy with one arm. I think he was my
oh, fun fact about that guy with one arm, if you want to know this. He's in a Swiffer, like the dustpan, not the dustpan, the mop broom thing, the Swiffer sweeper, that's it. He's in a Swiffer sweeper commercial.
Really?
Yeah, he's in an interracial relationship, and he's like with the one arm, and I recognized him immediately, and I was like, what? There's really not that many, I don't think there's really any big name stars in it. But there's a lot of familiar faces, so.
Yeah, do you guys find anything like wrong with this movie that you wanna?
The bad side, the negative of this movie.
I mean, if I'm picking one negative part about it,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for the type of movie it is, and the type of movie like that they were going for, and like their whole plot and the idea of it, I can't really find a bad part about it. Like I think they executed it incredibly well.
Yeah.
There were a few people who I wanted to die way sooner than they did die, but the only reason I understand why they did not is because you need some more dynamic characters. But no, I mean, all around, I'm giving it a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, it's hard to like create dynamic characters like when it's just in that room and a course of 2 minutes when they're talking.
It's like 12 Angry Men, only 50 people, men and women, and aliens.
Yeah.
Which is Josh's favorite.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so you guys want to move on to the next one?
I just want to say real quick about the negative side of Circle.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, the movie held your interest from the beginning to the end. But I mean, the whole movie is just really good in keeping you interested in the story and how it's gonna end. But I mean, it never really reached the great level. I don't know. It just, for me, it's just like the same level, since the beginning till finish.
It doesn't take a lot of chances until like the very end, I guess.
Yeah, like the very end didn't really shock me, but it surprised me. But I mean, it's definitely a memorable movie, but I would not say it's like the best one of this year, or I would watch it again.
I mean, what I really enjoyed is how like the same thing over and over could get boring, but they seem to keep it like pretty engaging throughout the whole time by adding like different twists and stuff like that.
Yeah, but this is just one of the movie with one location that's really entertaining, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. If we're gonna do we want to do letter grades on this right now? Or do we want to wait till
we'll do it at the end?
Okay.
That's all that.
Yeah. Let's
All
move
right.
on to the next
Next movie we have up that we checked out was called Let Us Pray. Prey. Um, Scottish, right? Very Scottish horror movie.
Yeah.
Featuring the actress Pollyanna McIntosh,
Macintosh, yeah.
and she's been in stuff like Tales of Halloween, Bloodlands,
She's
a
great.
lot
She's a
of
great actress.
low key indie horror movies. This movie is about a lot of crooked cops and crooked people. She's a rookie cop on her first day of the job. Not really a rookie cop, but she's been assigned to this station. The people who keep showing up, like they're all having flashbacks of the crimes that they committed. And a mysterious stranger shows up, who you soon learn that he is.
No spoiler.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a given. Like this one doesn't really go that hard. He has a supernatural ability,
You kind of
and
know
he's
halfway
there to
through.
he's there to wreak judgment on these people.
Yeah,
And so-
that's from the beginning.
What takes place is the events from like I'm assuming like 11 o'clock all the way to midnight. Not maybe about 2 hours. About 2 hours time period,
Yeah.
and it's such a very very slow start to a movie. Like the slowness, like it did not. I was watching this with my dad. He fell asleep, woke up, and said, I can't watch this. I gotta go to bed. Let me know if it's good enough to like come back and watch it later."
Yeah. I agree that it's quite slow, but what kept me interested, like all the way through, is how the visual, how they filmed the movie, how they light the set is really looks really like creepy, you know, and it's really unique. It looks like a well-made horror movies.
Have you seen other Scottish horror films? Like I watched another one by Pollyanna
Really?
McIntosh about right after I watched Let Us Pray, and it's called The Bloodlands, and it's another Scottish one. They all have that feel, like
Oh, really?
Scottish horror movies have that same feel, and
Yeah, the
not
visual
like
is
not like a
stunning.
filter, but like just a feel about it.
Yeah, I love how the movie looks, but for the story, not so much.
Yeah.
What do you think, Josh?
This movie, to me,
Yeah.
was incredibly hard to follow. Like, it was hard to pay attention to. Like, I'd be watching the movie, I'd get distracted, and then I'd not know what's going on, or it's just, to say the least, it bored me.
Yeah.
Now,
It
I will
just
say
wasn't
this.
interesting to me.
The parts that it amped up, like the parts that it kind of got like interesting, is necessarily like the gore. There's a lot of gore. Like,
Yeah, it's really bloody, and
um,
they did that really well.
they went hardcore with the gore, yeah, and it's well done gore. You kind of get a little like there's parts where you're like watching this and you're still confused. Like it is extremely hard to follow. Josh is right about that, but. When I was watching it, at some parts, I did not care that I didn't understand what was going on. I was really just watching the craziness ensue. All in all, though,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to say,
Yeah.
like if I'm going to describe this movie in one word, it's forgettable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Really,
I don't even think I went through the whole thing. I don't think I could bring myself to.
yeah. Cause I kind of disagree a bit. I thought this movie really interests me, even though you kind of know what's going on the halfway through. Like you know what direction this movie is going to, and this movie is really similar to Devil. Have you guys seen that? It's the one with the like 5 strangers in the elevator. I think it's really similar to that. But I mean,
How?
just in its theme, I think the theme is really similar. But I'm not gonna go more into that because that's gonna be a spoiler.
Oh,
but it's
I
really
feel like,
similar. It's really
yeah.
similar.
People having to confront their sins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's not
I
go
don't know. I
deep
don't
into
think
that.
that's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a huge spoiler that this guy has like supernatural abilities. This stranger comes in there and he's making these people face their demons and their sins that they have committed. Some of them committed it extremely recently. Some of them have committed it in the past. Actually, I think all of them were recent.
Yeah, but I thought this is one crazy movie, and I kind of like it.
Now, I
But
hated the ending.
it's
I'm
a
just
slow.
gonna say
I
that.
would say it's a slow burn horror movie, and there's a bit of romance in the ending as well. Just throw in there. But yeah, I would kind of recommend it though.
You'd recommend
Um,
it?
What?
You'd recommend it?
I would kind of recommend it. I mean, watch it at your own risk, but
if
yeah,
you want a good gory movie, and if it's a good keep in the background kind of movie, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like you don't really have to stay 100% devoted, like focused to this movie because even if you do, you're still not going to have an idea what's going on. Um, it's
like you,
it's
yeah,
it's entertaining enough to where you get to see some people get their eyes gouged and
yeah.
throats cut open and shotgun blast to the face. It's
Always fun.
you get a lot of that, and that's pretty much
And
all you really need
yeah,
in a horror movie nowadays.
and I thought the
Some good
cast
old
was
fashioned
great. Like,
gore.
yeah, and Pollyanna, she was actually in The Woman as well. She's played
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
The Woman was really
Was that her
good
most
movie.
recent?
The Woman,
That's her most recent
2011.
one, wasn't it?
The one directed by Lucky McKee. That one was really good. She's so creepy.
Yeah,
She's really
she's a very dynamic actress. Like her characters in Tales of Halloween, and Bloodlands, and Let Us Pray, and in The Woman are very unique characters and very different. So she's a good actress, and it's crazy because she's in a lot of horror movies. It's just she has one of those faces. I call it
Yes.
like the typical horror movie girl face. It's like the lady from The Purge, the lady from Your Next, actresses that all have very similar faces.
Yeah, she's actually in.
And she definitely.
Yeah, she's
What?
actually in Exam as well. That's like a movie with one location where strangers just take a bunch of tests, kind of like Circle. She's in that movie as well.
I haven't seen that. I need to watch it.
Yeah, that's good. That makes me.
She's
really,
she's in one called
like,
Filth too, which I'm not really
Yeah.
sure. I think that's not a horror movie.
No, I saw that actually. It was pretty good, I guess. Kind of good.
She's a good actress, and I'm
Yeah.
actually now that I've watched like two movies back to back with her in it, and I've kind of like identified the name with the face. I'm like excited to see like what more she's gonna be in, to be honest, because she actually did a really good job in Let Us Pray.
Yeah.
She did a good job in Bloodlands and a good job in Tales of Halloween, and so I'm interested to see more from her.
That's right.
So
But
I guess the
yeah.
good in it was
Yeah.
the gore, but the bad in it that it was really hard to follow and uninteresting. Well, as for me and Jaren, I think you thought it was interesting, right, Chok?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
mainly let's look at how the visual is. To be honest, I kind of know what direction it's going to, but I'm just looking to see the visual, how the whole movie just looks like creepy and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, we have another movie. Are we ready to move on to the next thing?
Yeah, at least this one is better than the next one.
Well, I wanted to before we get into the last one, because I really wanted to rip that one up. I want to talk about the Walking Dead, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, of course. But today was the mid-season finale, or Sunday was the mid-season finale, and it's definitely intense, and from what I've heard, this next episode coming up is going to be very, very intense and going to kind of explain what happens in the mid-season and show what happens after. And and another thing is, if you haven't watched it already, after you watch the mid-season finale, they released a prologue leading into the next episode coming in February. February 14th. And they also took a picture of their cast for Negan, and I sent this on our group chat we had. You saw it, right, Chok? The guy with the base. I was talking to Jaren about it. Maybe you should put this picture like on the thumbnail or on the video for our YouTube this week. But if you look really closely, you can see Negan, and one of his eyes, you can see another, like the reflection of a face on it, and the face looks like he's screaming, and you see the blood all over Negan's face, and so I wonder if that means possible death for a character coming up soon by the hands of Negan. I was looking at it, and I was just zoomed in real close, and it looked like a face. So I'm excited.
I think if you read the comics, I think you pretty much have the idea of what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know?
like I'm really excited about what's happening now in the show.
Would you say this episode is the most intense for this season?
One of the more intense episodes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say without giving any spoilers, but it's definitely worth watching. I was expecting a little more, but I'll take it. I'm happy with it. And seeing that prologue made it all worth it. Like seeing what's coming up in the future. I think, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a hint with Negan, everybody. If you all saw the movie Inglourious Bastards, the scene where Eli Roth comes up with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be ready.
I guess I haven't seen it, but
that's exactly like kind of the same as a comic. What you show me, but we have to see if it's gonna be the same in the series in the next season.
Yeah. I think we talked about the casting for Negan in our first episode, but
yeah, we did.
I didn't. Jeffrey Dean Morgan also, if you've seen The Watchmen, he's also the comedian in The Watchmen. He's in The Possession, and he's going to be in the new Batman Superman movie.
Wow.
Coming out. And I was reading the casting and what their roles are. It didn't describe what Jeffrey Dean Morgan is yet. So I'm very interested to see that. Maybe they'll explain it.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't play a minor part. We could actually see a lot more of him.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good actor. I love the Watchmen movie. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my only problem with the Watchmen movie: blue testicles.
Yep.
But the gore
That's no good.
It was really gory, you know.
I really liked Rorschach. I thought his crazy ink blot mask was pretty badass.
You can actually get a mask that actually moves according to like heat and stuff. The Rorschach masks. It's a really interesting mask. It's a really good Halloween mask. It can only like move in like 2 different patterns, but it's still cool nonetheless.
I'm guessing it's when you breathe on it and it adds heat to the mask when you're wearing it.
Yeah, it's a cool Halloween mask. I saw one guy wearing it and I was really impressed with it. Okay, let's get into our last movie that we're going to talk about. And this one is quite the disappointment. I'm not going to lie.
Worse than
The LAZARUS Effect, which features Olivia Wilde, Mark Duplass, and Donald Glover, otherwise known as Childish Gambino.
And also Ewan Peters. Also known
Premise
as
of
Quicksilver
is Reanimator, basically.
Yeah.
When I saw this movie, I literally texted, I think it was you, Jaren. I texted you, or I put it on the group message. I said, what the fuck is wrong with this movie? This is the first thing I thought of.
It had a lot of potential. I was extremely excited to watch it. And I walked out of that theater going like, oh my god, I wish they did a lot of things differently.
It could have been really creepy.
It's pretty much the plot line of Reanimator, how they do the serum that brings the dead back to life. But what they kind of turned it into, which at the time there was so much of these supernatural, paranormal, demonic movies, is they turned it into more of a religious battle with Olivia Wilde, and she has to basically dying and coming back to life, which all of this is revealed in the trailer. If you watch the trailer, it gives away a lot. She gains like the supernatural ability and practically becomes a demon herself.
Yeah.
And what I was really hoping for was, I guess I could have expected a demon movie. I guess I probably should have saw that one coming. I was really just hoping for some zombie action. I'm not gonna lie.
Zombie action.
I was.
What?
I thought it was gonna go more the angle where like she came back, but she wasn't. She was just a fucked up like version of herself. But she came back. What was the movie where they dropped the pig's blood on her?
Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie. That's right. And it's just reminded me of that. Like they're trying to take.
I'm gonna do a quick apology of Josh real quick. I'm just gonna apologize for Josh because, granted, he's not the biggest horror movie fan we know, but he's working on it.
Well, no. It's the same thing where she goes all paranormal and starts killing everybody. And it seems like they're trying to take like a lot from other movies and just to make it this horrendous pile of shit.
And
I am credible. Thank you very much.
And I think it's pretty much rip off like a bit of a theme from Lucy, the movie with Scarlett Johansson, released in the same year.
Really?
It's kind of like a horror version of Lucy.
I can see Carrie more than Lucy.
Really?
Yeah, because she goes all crazy and like paranormal and shit.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I don't
Lucy,
kind of
because they use 100% of her brain.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could see aspects of both Carrie and Lucy.
So they just throw everything in there,
going crazy, and Lucy for more of the supernatural abilities and crazy stuff that she can do.
Yeah.
I don't know. It falls short. You'll watch it, and you'll understand that it definitely fell short of what it was expected to be. Especially if the cast lineup had Olivia Wilde, like
she's great. She's so creepy. Like she really nailed her roles. I think that's like the best part of the movie. But all is wasted. You know, they all have all this talented cast, but they just wasted on this cliche horror movies that have a bunch of
there is a scene that if you guys are fans of Stuart Gordon's Reanimator, there's a scene in it where it's basically almost like it picks off right where Reanimator ends. The idea was cool. It was a cool concept, but the execution was not the best.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot. What really bugged me is how much potential they had, and they just really messed it up. Like, they could have gone well with this. They could have gone really creepy and just really interesting, but...
You know, it's just a quick cash grabber, you know. You just put big name star and just release it to get money.
What did it get on Rotten Tomatoes? It got really low, didn't it?
Yeah, most American horror movie gets really low unless it follows. Is that American?
Let's skip to a second about movies that are being released just for quick cash, and let's talk about the movie Ouija. It has a sequel coming out.
Yeah, the sequel is coming out next year, Halloween. Not Halloween. A week before Halloween, 2016.
If you guys have seen the first Ouija, we all know that we're all really, really, really excited for this sequel to come out. And by really excited, I mean not excited at all. Please, someone stop this from happening. The only good thing about the first one was Lin Shaye.
Yeah, she nailed it. Her role was really good. That's probably the only thing. And the main girl is actually really attractive to see as well. But I mean, the story is just so cliche. Yeah, it's the girl from Bates Motel, the series. What's her name? I forgot. Yeah, but to be honest, for Ouija 2, I'm kind of a bit like excited for it because Doll Jones is gonna be in it as well, and Lin Shaye is gonna return in it as well.
Oh, I did not know that she would be returning. That's very interesting.
And
by the way,
and you know, Doll Jones is from he actually like played many characters. Like he's actually in Crimson Peak as well. He played the Ghost Mother. And he's in like every Guillermo del Toro movies, like Pan's Labyrinth. He always played the creature and the ghost, and you know.
Wasn't he the guy who played the eyeball dude from Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah. He's gonna be
I know
in
who you're talking about.
He's gonna be in Ouija too, so that's why I'm a bit slightly excited for.
So
sequel.
it's got a pretty good. It's got some good people behind it. It's just it definitely is considered to be one of those quick cash grabber movies.
Yeah,
Um,
but who
so you don't
knows?
really. I'm not going to go in there expecting much.
But
Oh,
the
and by
right,
the way, Lazarus Effect got 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
not surprised.
I usually don't go by critics and what they say, but
Yeah.
they're spot on that review.
Yes. Yes.
14.
But if you are interested, I mean, out of all three movies that we have watched or we've reviewed today and that we've all watched, I'm gonna say the most likely I'm gonna recommend to you is Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely check that one out. Very interesting concept, very new and refreshing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, definitely can be considered horror movie, but more of a thriller, sci-fi thriller, I guess. Extremely good watch, very entertaining. Check it out. Let Us Pray. If you're feeling up for it, do it. Lazarus Effect. You know what? If you have the time, because it's got some big stars in it, and it was a big name movie, but I don't know, the other ones it doesn't match with the other ones very well.
So should
Hey,
we
do you want to
give
hear
a
what
grade for each one?
Rotten Tomatoes has to say about it?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
The Lazarus Effect has a talented cast and the glimmer of an interesting idea, but wastes it all on insipid characters and dull recycled plot points. So exactly what we just said.
It's almost like we read the article before we started doing this podcast so we can steal ideas.
Well, at least it's still better than Ouija. Ouija actually got 7%.
It's 7.
Yeah,
Really?
well, Ouija.
I kind of want to
Ouija
watch it now.
7%.
Because Ouija, besides Lin Shay, had a horrible cast.
No, Olivia Cook is good. The main girl, she's in Bates Motel. Finally got her name. I think she's
Yeah, but
she's a
the
good
most,
actress.
but everybody else was like just your dumb teenage wannabes just thrown in there.
Yeah, that's just the script. It's just really
Good lord,
dumb.
that movie made me want to not play with a Ouija board. just because I just didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Okay, so should we give
I
the
say-
grade for each movie that we saw this
Yeah,
week?
yeah. Let's do some letter grading on this. Let's
Okay.
start out with The Circle. Josh,
Circle.
what would you give The Circle?
I'm going to give it an A because I was entertained the whole time. And if a movie can do that for me, I'm going to give a good grade to it.
Chok, what about you?
I would give it a B. I think it really entertains, but doesn't really reach up to like a greatness level. It just entertains the same level from start to finish. So I would give it a B.
I'm gonna give it an A because what I look for in a movie is for it to be entertaining, and
Like a
that
normal
movie
person.
was definitely entertaining. And I'm gonna talk about like a little bit of cinematography, and I'm sure the budget was low, and for what they pulled off with their low budget, like they did a good job. I say I beat you guys halfway. I do an A minus B plus.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. You always change the grade, dude.
Alright, let's go on to Let Us Pray. I'll be good on this one. I'm gonna give it a C.
Same here. I'm going to have to agree.
That's tough. I gave it a B minus.
Okay.
Because I think it's a well-made horror movies, and I would recommend it. I think it's a slow burn horror.
Very
I would-
very slow burns, so prepare yourself for that one.
To be honest, I don't think it's that slow. I've seen a slower horror movie.
Oh, I've seen slow horror movies.
thought
This one was nowhere near as slow as others, but it was still pretty slow.
I thought Last Ship was slower. I don't know. The one we reviewed last week.
Last Shift? Are you kidding me? That thing amps up instantly.
Really? Because I think
Yeah.
I don't
Dude,
know. I just feel like it's
there's-
really slow.
there's
I
like-
just want to go to sleep.
First 5 seconds is like an old crazy guy banging on a locker and swearing.
Yeah, but that's just like one
Yeah, that
scene
had
and then
nothing to
just
do with the plot, though.
crazy.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's
yeah.
kind of weird how they never tied that in. But whatever. Christy was kind of a slow burn.
Yeah, Christy was quite slow burn.
Alright, let's not reflect in the past. Okay, so I say C, Josh says C, Chok says B minus, right?
Minus.
Yeah.
Alright,
Um,
now the one we've been waiting for. Lazarus Effect. Alright, what are you gonna give it?
Chok, you want to start this one off?
I actually watched it like a year ago, and I just looking at my reviews, and I gave it a C.
Huh.
I don't know.
I
why,
watched it when it was in theaters
Yeah,
as well.
same.
I'm gonna have to say C just because of the cast.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to
Give the credit
give it
to
a
the
D
cast.
because
Wow.
whether the cast was good or not, it still irritated me how it had so much potential, but it still did such a shitty job at being a good movie. Like, it might have been the worst horror movie I've ever seen.
Oh my
makes
goodness!
sense,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness!
I've ever seen.
That's a bold claim. Have you ever seen Ouija?
Why are we so attacking this movie?
I'm surprised you guys gave it a... What did you give it, Jaren?
What? Lazarus Effect?
Yeah.
I gave it a C just because.
Really?
I'll say C minus. How
The
about that?
cast?
Just because of the cast, because
The cat...
Donald Glover, Olivia Wilde, and Mark Duplass. I just love all of them.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it should make it worse that they had such a great cast, but they did the movie was such a bad movie.
I mean, it's actually it at least like better than a really bad cast and a really bad movies. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
like that's
Yeah.
like like if it didn't have like a memorable cast, then this movie would definitely be an F. But
Yeah,
the
it's
the cast was somewhat memorable.
It might be good for like a person who have never seen any horror movies and saw this for the
Oh yeah, I mean
like
there's
horror
a
movie or
certain type
something.
of crowd that the movies like Lazarus Effect and Ouija appeal to. That's your people who are like your teenage girls and who are like, oh my gosh, I don't watch horror movies.
who like
I
close
don't
their
wanna
eye all the time in theater and say it's so scary, but they actually
Yeah,
never see
it's
any
like
of them.
people
any of the
people
scary
who
scenes.
are very inexperienced with horror movies.
Yeah.
If you're a horror movie fan, though, you most likely will not like this movie.
Yeah,
No,
and if you
As a
not
matter
at
of fact,
all.
you'd probably resent this movie. To be honest, you'd be upset that you watched it.
yeah.
and
that's how I
actually if
felt.
you're a fan of Mark Duplass, he actually directed a really low budget horror movie called Creep. You might have to
Oh,
check that out.
God.
It was really good.
Oh
It's-
God, dude,
you
acting
like
is
that?
phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It was
love
really
it.
low
The
budget.
Creep.
Yeah, it's like a horror comedy, a bit comedy, dark
I
comedy.
don't want to say
I would say dark
comedy. I want to say just it's found footage. Also, by the way,
It lives up
Um,
to the name Creep.
I want to
It's
say.
creepy.
I want to say comedy. I mean, there's funny parts in it, like almost all horror movies have their couple
Yeah.
comedic parts in it.
It's listed as horror comedy though.
Oh, is it really?
On
Man, I feel like there's really not that many jokes involved. I mean, there's a few.
yeah, I didn't laugh.
okay.
I didn't laugh that much as well.
I don't know. All
But
right,
it's
well,
great.
it's a good horror comedy. Mark Duplass did an amazing job in that, and that honestly, that also might be why I'm giving Lazarus Effect a C, is because of how well how good Creep was, and how well he did in Creep. Will also reflect on my opinions of Lazarus Effect because he's in it.
Yeah, he actually
Um,
wrote it as well. Mark Duplass. He didn't direct it. Sorry. Yeah, he wrote it and he starred in it. That's basically like two-person in the movie.
What's more ominous about Creep is the fact that there's no music at all in it. Like there's no
Oh, yeah.
soundtrack to this movie. It's just raw footage. Like that's it.
With two
And so
actors.
that's it's
With
very
two
interesting.
actors,
It's
the
also
whole
on
movie.
Netflix, so I recommend checking that one out before you watch Lazarus Effect.
Yeah.
Or after. Actually, if you're gonna watch Lazarus Effect, watch Creep afterwards so you can like get the taste out of your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to review Creep next week? Or
Yeah, we could do it. I mean, I just say we group it in with this because there's really
Okay.
not that much to talk about. But I could just say we just group it in with this this episode as well
it's a
because
Yeah.
good found footage movie.
great. It's like honestly probably one of my new favorites when it came out. It's on Netflix. It's a good watch. It's creepy. Mark Duplass does a great job at actually being a creep. So the theme is consistent. It's good. It's a good one.
And the mask that they use in there was really creepy. One of the creepiest masks I ever seen in a horror movie.
What's he called that thing?
The what pus? Something. Ah, shit, I forgot.
Is it the one he was talking about? Like the animal thing.
Yeah,
it's the animal mask, his werewolf mask.
Peach Fuzz or something.
Peach Fuzz, that's it. No,
yeah,
you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Peach
really
Fuzz.
creepy.
Peach Fuzz, like Josh has on his chin. Yep.
I mean, you can see the progression, how his jokes just get better and better.
I'm working on it, people. All right, well, this episode, after this, I think that our podcast is going to get a little bit more Christmassy, which at least I hope it does.
Are we gonna have
I am currently
Christmas
decorating my horror movie tree, which I'm going to post up pictures of that on my Instagram page. You can follow me at Family of Fear on Facebook and Instagram. Josh is Josh Blanked, at Josh Blanked on Instagram. Chok is at Movies Maniac and Movies Maniacs with an X. Follow us up on there.
And you can also follow us on Facebook as well for horror news and the link to this podcast and the previous podcast and the next podcast. Yeah.
Like our Facebook page, Family of Fear.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure by the time this podcast episode is out, my announcement for the giveaway will be already out in the open. What we're giving away is a signed poster, a signed Silent Night, Deadly Night poster.
Signed by you?
Wow.
Yeah, signed by me. Actually, no. Signed by the crazy Santa Claus running around saying, "Punish himself." Plus, with that, we're also giving a whole Silent Night, Deadly Night DVD set. I don't know. I'm excited about it. I think it's super.
You sound like it. I'm excited for you.
It's gonna be good. No, it's.
Hey, did the winner of your last giveaway ever contact you?
I'm really assuming Galen is her name. Galen. I hope she got it.
Okay,
the guy, Robert Bryan Wilson.
You enter in this competition, there is a good chance that you might not get what you.
We mailed it.
Oh, hold on,
she got it.
Discourage people.
But he, if you don't get it, he definitely hopes you do want sometime.
Well, honestly,
that's
I'm gonna be extremely upset if she didn't get it because there's a lot of good stuff in that creature giveaway. No, but it's somebody Robert Bryan Wilson, which is Billy in Silent Night Deadly Night 1. There's going to be other horror movie Christmas-themed gifts thrown in there as well that I'll be putting up with the announcement on my Instagram page as well.
I'm definitely down to enter your contest.
Definitely hop in on that because I think Christmas and horror movies, like some of my favorite horror movies are Christmas horror movie mixes.
Yeah.
And
what are
they're good.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite horror movie for Christmas that you have to watch annually?
Yo, guess what? We're going to talk about that in episode 4.
That's right. So
there we go.
Should we close
this?
Guys,
I guess like and comment on our video. Let us hear your feedback.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. And we'll see you all next week.